In the last video on hyperlipidemic agents, we discussed up to the point. Let us quickly revisit that. We defined what is hyperlipidemia. It is defined as increased levels of lipid in the plasma. Then we defined, visited the basic biochemistry with what are lipids. Okay, what are lipids? What are important lipids? That fats, oils, fatty acids, phospholipids, and cholesterol. Then we defined what are fats, what are oils, what are fatty acids, what is this MUFAs and what is PUFA. We also defined this long chain and short chain fatty acids. Then we defined omega fatty acid. What is the meaning of this term omega? We discussed what are phospholipids and then the importance of cholesterol. Okay, then we progressed with this that the lipids in the body are normally present as lipoproteins, and which consist of lipid bonded to the proteins and carbohydrate. And we also discussed why it is so. It is because to prevent the formation of insoluble aggregates of the lipids in the plasma. Okay. Now we also discussed that hyperlipidemia is of two types, primary and secondary, and this hyperlipidemia is linked to the hyperlipoproteinemia, which is a disorder of lipoprotein metabolism. And then we also discussed that there are 6 types of hypolipoproteinemia: type 1, type 2A, type 2B, type 3, type 4 and type 5. Okay. Now lipoproteins in the plasma, they can be classified into several categories. First is chylomicrons. These are the largest particle having the least density, and they consist of 90% of triglycerides. Now another lipoproteins in the plasma are very low density lipoprotein or VLDL. They are also on the basis of electrophoresis of lipoproteins. They are called as pre-beta lipoproteins, and they consist of 60% triglycerides, 12% alcohol and 18% phospholipids. Then we have intermediate density lipoprotein or IDL, corresponding to the broad beta lipoprotein fraction in the electrophoresis region. Then we have low density lipoprotein or LDL. Now this is corresponds to the beta lipoprotein fraction of the electrophoresis of lipoprotein. Again, this consists of 10% triglycerides and 50% alcohol, and 65% of the cholesterol in the plasma is in LDL form. Okay. Now most of the cholesterol is transported as LDL. As you can see, this LDL, they contain 50% of cholesterol. Okay. So the most of the cholesterol in the plasma is transported in the form of LDL. Now another lipoprotein in plasma is the high density lipoprotein or HDL, corresponds to the fraction alpha lipoprotein. Now this consists of 25% cholesterol and 50% protein. Now in total 17% of the cholesterol in the plasma which is in high density lipoprotein form. Okay. So these are the various lipoproteins that are present in the plasma. Now the metabolism of lipoprotein, it is a complex process and is regulated by the various hormones also. Okay. It is modulated by various hormones with estrogens, progestins, androgens, glucocorticoids, thyroid hormone, insulin and growth hormone. And accordingly, any disorder that influences the normal levels of these hormones in turn affect the lipoprotein metabolism. Now lipid transport mechanism exists that transport cholesterol and triglycerides between the liver, intestine and other body tissues. Okay. Now let us take a brief look at these transport mechanism. Now this slide, this figure shows you the lipid transport systems. Okay. So a lipid transport system, we have two pathways. One is the exogenous pathway, another is the endogenous pathway. Now in the exogenous pathway, let us discuss this in brief. In the diet, dietary triglycerides, cholesterol and fatty acids, they are incorporated into chylomicrons. Okay, and these chylomicrons in the intestine, and then these enter the lymphatic system and plasma. Now these are acted upon by the enzyme lipoprotein lipase that is present in the adipose tissue of the adipose tissue capillaries, and it forms triglycerides plus monoglycerides plus free fatty acids. Now these free fatty acids they cross the capillary membrane of the adipose tissue capillaries and then incorporate into the triglycerides in tissues. Now the remaining part of this is transferred to the liver and is transported or cleared by the circulation by binding to a receptor that recognizes apoprotein E and apoprotein B48. Okay, so these are this is the pathway of exogenous pathway of lipid transport system. Another pathway is the endogenous pathway. In this, the liver, it secretes triglycerides and cholesterol. Now these combine with the apoprotein B100 and apoprotein E and form very low density lipoprotein. Now these VLDL, they are acted upon by the enzyme lipoprotein lipase to form free fatty acids plus IDL. Now this IDL they can undergo two pathways. Most of these IDL they are converted into LDL, and after conversion to LDL they bind to receptors in the body and removed from the plasma by the extrahepatic tissue. Okay, and then they these LDL they are formed into HDL, and by the action of enzyme LCAT, lecithin cholesterol acyl transferase, they form IDL. So this is this way this cycle gets completed. Okay, now the another route is that this IDL they bind to the liver LDL receptors through the endocytosis. So these are the two transport system of the lipids, endogenous and the exogenous. Now coming to the individual category of drugs in the syllabus, the first drug is clofebrate. Now if you look at the structure of this drug, it is like this. It is basically an ester R, this part is R, C O R dash. Now this part is CS2 CS3 ethyl. So it is an ethyl ester of 1, 2, 3 propanoic acid. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 propanoic acid. So chemically it is ethyl 2. This is position number 2. At position number 2 we have 4-chlorophenyl, 4-phenoxy, 4-chloropphenoxy, 2-methyl propanoic acid. It is a colorless liquid and is insoluble in water. Now this clofebrate, it is oxidized and in the light, and it also on hydrolysis it forms clofibric acid. Okay, and this clofebrate on hydrolysis it forms clofibric acid, which is the active form of this drug clofebrate. Now this drug is excreted by the conjugation with glucuronic acid in the urine. Now this clofebrate, it is used in the treatment of primary type 3 hyperlipoproteinemia that do not respond to diet, and also for the treatment of severe hypertriglyceridemia. Now this clofebrate, it decreases the plasma concentration of cholesterol and triglycerides by increasing metabolism of lipoprotein to LDL by increasing the activity of adipose tissue lipoprotein lipase system. Now we have discussed the role of this enzyme lipoprotein lipase present in the adipose tissue when we discuss the transport system. So this clofebrate, it decreases the plasma concentration of cholesterol and triglycerides by increasing the metabolism of lipoprotein to LDL by increasing the activity of adipose tissue lipoprotein lipase enzyme. In addition to this, it also inhibits synthesis and increases removal of apolipoprotein B, which is a transporter of VLDL. In addition to this, this clofebrate, it also inhibits the enzyme HMG hydroxymethyl glutarate coenzyme A reductase enzyme and regulates the cholesterol synthesis. Now, this HMG hydroxymethyl glutarate coenzyme A is converted to the mevalonate form, okay, by the action of this enzyme HMG coenzyme A reductase. Now, this enzyme act on HMG CoA to form mevalonic acid or mevalonate. Now, this mevalonate is a precursor in the synthesis of cholesterol. So, in this way, inhibition of this enzyme inhibits the cholesterol biosynthesis. So, this is the way the clofebrate acts, and it is the mechanism of action of clofebrate. Now, another drug in the syllabus is lovastatin. Now, lovastatins or other statins, they are inhibitors of, this is the structure of lovastatin. Okay. Now, these lovastatin, it is a potent inhibitor of HMG coenzyme A, hydroxymethyl glutarate coenzyme A reductase enzyme, and thus inhibit the cholesterol biosynthesis, as we have discussed in the previous slide, that this enzyme HMG CoA, it acts on HMG CoA and forms mevalonic acid, okay, or mevalonate. Now, this HMG CoA reductase enzyme, it converts HMG coenzyme A to mevalonate, an intermediate in the biosynthesis of cholesterol, and inhibition of this enzyme thus results in the inhibition of cholesterol biosynthesis. Now, these lovastatins, they were initially obtained from the fermentation products of the fungi Asparagus terreus and Monachus ruber. Okay. Initially, lovastatin was obtained from the fermentation products obtained from this fungi Aspergillus and terreus and Monachus ruber fungi. Now, another drug in the syllabus under the category of anti-hyperlipidemic agents are the cholestyramine and colestipol. Now, these cholestyramine and colestipol, these are basically ion exchange resins, and are used for reduction of increased serum levels of cholesterol in the primary hyperlipidemia. These resins are insoluble in water and are not absorbed from the GI tract. Cholestyramine is a copolymer of styrene and divinyl benzene with quaternary ammonium groups, and it does not interact with the neutral or amine salts of acids of drugs, and it is used for the management of type 2A hyperlipoproteinemia. Now, again, colestipol, it is a copolymer of tetraethylene pentamine and epichlorhydrin. Now, this mode of action of these drugs, now these cholestyramine, it exchanges chloride ion for the bile acids in small intestine. The bile salts that are formed as a result of this exchange are excreted in the feces. Now, because the bile acids are converted into bile salts and they are excreted out of the body, so the decrease in amount of bile acid that are reabsorbed and returning to the liver, it decreases or lowers the feedback inhibition of bile acids by the enzyme 7-alpha hydroxylase enzyme. Now, this 7-alpha hydroxylase enzyme, it converts cholesterol to bile acids. So, what will happen, because there are less amount of bile acid that are entering the liver, so the liver lowers the feedback inhibition of bile acid, and it promotes thus promotes the conversion of cholesterol to bile acid. So, in this way the cholesterol is transformed to the bile acid and cholesterol is removed, thus increasing the catabolism or metabolic degradation of cholesterol, as more of cholesterol is now converted to the bile acids. Okay. So, this is the structure of cholestyramine. As we have seen, it is an copolymer. This is an quaternary ammonium salt, okay, and another drug is the colestipol. Now this is again a copolymer, and as we can see, these are the copolymer and ion exchange reagents. This is positively charged and this is ion. These are basically ion exchange reagents. So this was all about the anti-hyperlipidemic drugs in the syllabus. Okay.